My career path started out in education. So I used to teach kids with learning based language disabilities like dyslexia and such. So that was the start of my career and built a lot of curriculum for the program and everything like that. And really, when I think back, a lot of the teaching that I did started with helping them feel comfortable with their difference, like
Hmm.
shifting out of a disability. I don't like that term, right? So just having them look at themselves as being different, but that didn't mean any less than, right? And
Right.
then doing a lot of mindset shifts in teaching. And so taught for many years and went to when I had my children, I went into teaching online college and was getting a little bored and saw an ad for to be a matchmaker. And at that point, I was going through my own um, healing journey because I had lost my husband and then he took his own life, and my kids were young, and I started dating again after that. And as you can imagine, with two young kids, I didn't do my own healing. I just sort of
Right.
pushed it aside and moved on. And started dating. And so when I saw the ad for the matchmaker, I was like, oh, this should be great. I have plenty of experience in relationships and I could help. So, funny enough, I grew as much through my experience in the matchmaking world as my clients did because I was learning with them. Like I was seeing what was happening with them in their relationships and dating. And I was shining the light back on myself, like, ooh, maybe I do that too. And so that's where the coaching came along because I thought my clients, there were some that came like really secure and probably had done a lot of work on themselves or just like had great experiences in life where they didn't have anxious or avoidant attachments or anything like that, but they came a little more secure to the relationship and I saw greater success with their matches. So I started studying people who uh, were not having as much success. And what I recognized was the coaching component was so important. That's where I left things a year ago and started my own company, Love Prescriptions. So I could do things on my terms, which is really get all of this information out to the masses and create programs beyond just dating, right? Because there is that piece, like you mentioned, the breakup piece. People
Right.
don't like that can be the catalyst for the most growth, but people don't know how to navigate that space because it's so painful. So being able to create courses and programs to help people in that space, as well as relationship with self, is so important. The
Absolutely.
most important, right? So help
Right.
people in that area too.
How does that, like not grieving that loss, how can you how does that set your new relationship up for failure if you don't take the time to grieve that loss?
Oh yeah. I mean, and it's so hard to grieve it fully, right? So I think people go through the first three stages of grief, maybe stay in anger or they're bargaining for a long time. Those are actually protective stages. If we don't move forward into the depression and acceptance stage, then we move on to other relationships and we're going to repeat the same dynamics and patterns.
Right.
So that's why it's so important to feel all of it. It's awful as it is, as hard as it is to sit with the pain and get curious about it, because it's leading you back to something in your past, your unhealed wounds, like
Mhm.
something's being triggered. There's patterns and dynamics repeating themselves. And so it's really important to discover yourself in all of this. And every relationship provides us an opportunity to do that. And the end of a relationship just gives us that space to then look back and see. But I think that, again, one, it's so painful. And two, it's hard to take accountability for our role.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And so we move on. And then what do? We repeat the same dynamic again with a different partner. It might look a little different, but it's still the same dynamic when you pull it apart and say,
All right. With your experience in matchmaking, what's something you think people get wrong when they're looking for a relationship? And how can they change that mindset?
okay. Well, I definitely think going back to your question about this, what they're looking for on the superficial level, I think people need to start looking at what their relationship core values are. And often we ask what we have people spending tens of thousands of money coming in for to meet a partner. And You ask them what their relationship core values are, and they look at you like you have three heads. What does that mean? Can you give me some examples? So then we start really digging into that. What makes you feel connected to somebody? Because people are in their heads a lot. So we need to get them into their body to feel things when they're on dates, right? Stop going through your checklist of what's right or wrong and start feeling you feel connected. What makes you feel connected to somebody? You have to trust your intuition that it's going to guide you. So if you can just be present, enjoy the moment, stop thinking about, is this the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with? You're not going to know that on a first date anyways. Typically, do I enjoy this person? Do I feel some type of connection that I want to take it to a second date? That's all you have to know in the moment. So if we just stay present,
Mm.
and like let the journey unfold, because you're not going to know right away. You're not going to know until you're in the relationship, you're having conflicts, you're seeing how you navigate conflicts, you're seeing whether the patterns and dynamics are showing up. So you can't put all that pressure on the initial stages of dating to try to figure out, is this person right for you?